Welcome to TowManG's Tow Show. As I say this, you're probably thinking, Towman, that's not a tow truck, that's a crane. And you would be right. Today, we're going through all the tow trucks that I can find that are in the game that actually work. All the ones in your view right now are all PC only, and the link to download them will be in the description. They're all by the same creator. He's done a fantastic job on all of them. Now with the PC mods, you've got a couple of different little things with them. We have these hooks that are a separate mod altogether. They work with winches on PC. These are 82 Studios new racket. They are, of course, anything 82 Studios does. Highly detailed interior and exterior. These are for all platforms. Tons of customization on these. Change the colors around however you want. So let's take a little walk around. I'm going to go around these ones first and just kind of go over pros and cons and everything to do with them. To start off with, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I would be lying if I said I didn't like how these looked. We got a nice big drag winch on the back here. Now, one thing to remember, these trucks have to be limitation to console. So no extra scripts like the PC ones have, hence why I'm doing these ones first. It's obviously not going to be as technical as some of the PC ones, but the fact that this is on console and all platforms is amazing. And so with this tow truck, you use the wheel lift to get underneath of the vehicle you're trying to tow, but you got to use one of these. So you pick one of these up by hand. And anything with a hitch, you just go up, drop it as close as you can, and you hook it up. Now that's going to dangle. So what this does is that little bar there is strappable. Now you're thinking, okay, so what does that mean? Well, the wheel lift you get underneath of the vehicle, and I'll show you here. It is loud, so just like anything 82 makes, it is loud. We've got nice door animations getting in. Beautiful interior, everything's nicely done. The windows go up and down. There is so many different controls on this thing. It is insane. So now with a normal tow truck, what we would do is we would get the wheel lift all the way down, like down close to the ground, and extend out the underreach, which is this bar, and get the cross member, which is this piece where you see those little D-rings are, underneath and somewhere on the frame, normally the front axle or whatever. You would put in a set of frame forks, and you would grab the actual frame. You pick the truck up, you strap it down, and away you go. Minus dropping shafts and everything. But with this, it's a little bit different, hence why we hooked this up. So if you can see here, I did just have it briefly. There's a strap. So the strap goes from these hooks up here to this bar. So this is the only downfall I see with the truck. Once again, I can't fault 82 for doing it this way. I'm pretty sure it would be the only way you can get it onto console and to make it so you can use tow almost any vehicle. So as you can see, it's strapped up, but we haven't even lifted the truck up. If we were to move right now, this truck is going to follow us because it is technically strapped to the tow truck. But what we got to do is we got to put this wheel lift underneath and lift it up. So when you start, it'll be like this. You'll have the nice two winch cables hooked up to the wheel lift there. You press unfold. That unfolds it down, and then the magical part, these D-rings here become strap points, right? So if I strap, you can see the straps come up, and since we're close enough to the other truck, it actually strapped to it. So now we've got to switch through different tools here. So we come over to group control 3 there on the D-pad, and we will hold L1, and we can lift and lower, or tilt I should say, that's not lift and lower. And if we go up and down on the right thumbstick, that's when we can go up and down. So what we're going to want to do is get this down close to the ground, not enough to where we're picking the wheels up. Fire the truck back up and try to get as nice under the truck as we can. The wheels are a little janky on anything you try to pick up, so just bear that in mind. It will take a couple of tries to get it right. What you can do is extend the wheel lift out a bit more. So if you can get it behind the tires, it kind of like helps lock it more so in place, I've found. So we'll come back, we'll tilt up a little bit, if I can tilt the right way. We're gonna pick that truck up. We're gonna raise it up a bit. And then we're gonna try to bring it in. So we are sucking the wheel lift in now. We're going to get it nice and close. It is going to try to get up over top of the wheel lift now. So now that we can see that the truck is trying to slide over top of the wheel lift, and we're going to bring our boom down. So now we've got the strap points a lot closer. We're going to strap. We're only hooked on by one, but that should be alright. Now if we raise this up, we're going to pull the truck up off of the wheel lift itself. That is a little high, but now since it's up and off, we can get that wheel lift out of the way. We can suck that back in. And we shall just lift this up a little bit. Once again, this we are simulating it. So we're not actually towing the truck as you would think we'd be towing it. So you just want to lower that back down just to where it would look alright. And then we can drive away. So since that front hitch can pivot, it lets the truck turn more on the actual strap point. Ideally, what you would want is to keep this perfectly straight on the bumper itself, so you have the most amount of movement left and right. Now, this is cool. I really do enjoy it. It's not technically towing it, you're more so slinging the truck, but to be able to get onto all platforms, this is absolutely amazing. Another big thing that I like about this is the wheel lift. As you can hop up into here, there's a hitch here with a fifth wheel plate and a ball hitch. So if you back up to a trailer with this unfolded, you'll just automatically be able to hook up to it like a normal trailer hitch. They'll put that put the receiver on, and you can just tow whatever you want. It's very versatile that way, of where this truck can tow anything. It can tow combines, anything with a trailer hitch. You can put one of these things on, and you're good to go. But TowMan, you're saying there's two separate hitches. This one is for like combines and stuff, where the hitch is further in on the vehicle and you've got something overhanging it. That is what this is for. All it does is bring the strap point closer to the tow truck, so it's easier to strap. That's all that one's for. The nice thing is about these is you don't have to carry around a separate truck. If you set this down right there, you hop into this bad boy, you can attach it and it just sits right there. What you gotta know is you got to detach that before you try to hook anything up with the wheel lift, because if you don't, then your straps are just automatically going to click onto the one that's stored on your truck. So with that said, this thing can also take fuel. It can hold a bunch of fuel in it. It's a great all-round service truck. For a tow truck simulation on console, it is the best I think you're ever going to get. As long as you can get over the little bit of imagination on towing the truck or slinging the truck off the boom, you'll be alright. The only thing that kind of bugs me on it, or an old style wrecker, as you can see, it's more like a older Holmes wrecker with the pulleys and everything. You wouldn't normally have a wheel lift like this with a boom like that. You would just have your sling lift here. So if they were able to implement the sling lift that butted into where your straps were, so if this sling lift was connected to the strap point, and when you lifted and lowered your booms, the sling lift was actually the strap point where it would connect onto that bar, it would look a lot better, because that's how you would sling a vehicle in real life, just with chains going underneath and connecting onto the frame or an axle or something. But all in all, just little things that just, to my eyes, being a tow truck driver, aren't quite right. But it's definitely a beautiful mod, and I highly like it. The fact that this just came out, and he's put a lot of time and effort into it. You've probably seen his live streams about it. And if you haven't, go check him out. He's on YouTube, 82 Studios. I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel down below. So moving on from 82 Studios, we've got a bunch of different trucks here. As you can see, this is a Durastar flatbed. I like that both those trucks had slow down, move over. It's the law stickers on them, which is great. These flatbeds are, I've found for the most part, more decorative. You've got winches on it, so if you use these hooks over here, you can attach these hooks to trail hitches just like 82 Studios, but on the plus side, you can actually attach a winch to the smaller side. So you can attach a winch onto that side and attach this side to a trailer hitch of the vehicle you want to winch, and essentially just pull it around. This isn't going to be a tutorial on winching. There is other videos on that on YouTube as well. I've watched them. That's how I learned. Go check them out. This is more just like an overview and a basic how-to. So this truck is completely on the flatbed, and if you know anything about sticky beds, you know that that truck should be locked in place. But the downfall with these flatbeds, it's a one-click animation. So right now, if I click fold, it's going to slide that bed in and tilt it back down. Well, as you can see, the truck that was on it hasn't actually moved. So unless you've got a winch that is tied up onto that, then you're not really going to get the best results. I've never been able to physically load a car on a bed to where it looks great. I've always just had to pick it up and put it onto the bed once I get it out of the road or whatever role play scenario you're trying to go for. But other than that, they look really cool and they do serve a purpose. I'm pretty sure most of them even have straps. Anything that has a movable bed with straps, you always got to make sure it's in the transport position before you strap them down. Because if I got the straps down now and I fold it in, the actual objects might not move with the straps. But other than that, I really do like these flatbeds. They look really cool. You've got a couple of different customization options with them. Moving on from that, we've got this wheel lift, small like 4500, 5500 wrecker, F550. We'll just actually hop on this and back it down. Nice backup beeper on it. So with this truck as well, it's a one smooth animation for the actual boom, but you can use the same hook and winch method as anything else. This has a wheel lift, the same style as the heavy wreckers. I'm just going to go over that when I get into the heavy wreckers, just because the wheel lift on this, it works, but you're got a very small truck with a lot less pulling capabilities because you're a lot lighter. Interior is the same on the Ford flatbed. However, you got a kitty cat in the passenger seat. So just to cover off on the flatbeds, we do have a Freightliner M2 version. We have that Ford F550 over there, and we also have the Durastar International here as well. So 3 different types of flatbeds. The wheel lift does work, so you can actually put a one of those tow bars on the back and tow 2 cars at once, double up. If you're good enough to do that, by all means, have at it. Up next are 2 of my favorite here. We've got this beautiful Peterbilt wrecker. Nice Z boom. You're probably looking at a 30, 25 ton here. Probably a 25 to 35 ton wrecker here. We've got a small boom extension, and we still got a small underreach. Got some nice wheel stops at the back here to chock you for winching. Same with this one as well. This is a newer style Mac. If you've watched Highway Through Hell, that is HR 110, I think. Don't quote me on the actual number, but that's what this truck is based off of. And once again, we got a small bit of reach with the boom, and we've got a bit of reach with the underreach as well. These trucks are nicely detailed. We've got strobes all the way around them. I've got the red light 4-way flashers on right now. Customization on all these trucks, few and far between. Some of them you can change the logo on the side. Some of the flatbeds, when you change the logo, it removes the slow down move over law, and you can change all the base colors on all of them. The truck cab is normally separate from the wrecker cab, so you can change those both. As you can see, I've got this one color matched in a nice yellowy orange color, and it looks really nice. One thing to note about these trucks is the stopping and going isn't that great. So if we fold these back in, I'll fire this truck up. So to start and stop, the brakes are a little wonky. Doesn't always like stopping. So trying to get into some tight spots, it does the little jump around. But once you get used to driving them, you'll be alright. All you gotta do is set those back rear outriggers down, and that'll help hold you in place as well. Just want to touch on these ones again. These are the smallest tow trucks in the bunch here. So we got the two F550s here, the one bed and the one wrecker version. So with these, you won't be able to tow too much just because of the actual mass of the vehicle you're trying to tow anything with. I do like the fact that we've got a Tow Lives Matter sticker here on the back of this wrecker. And the slow down move over, it's the law. Moving on, we've got our old style wreckers here. We've got one of our old Internationals Lodestars here. As you can see, we've got one of the old pulley style wreckers, like on old homes, just like the TLX Phoenix over there has. With stuff like this, it's only going to be a winching capability. You've got a trailer hitch, but you don't have a wheel lift. Just because these old tow trucks, they just use sling lifts, like we saw on the back of the TLX, just not in use. We've got the Mighty Moose over here. This is also from Heavy Rescue, or not Heavy Rescue, Highway Through Hell. It's a Western Star chassis. Nice truck here. Once again, customization, we've got cab and wrecker. We've got an old style beacon light with these. The old rotating lights instead of the newer strobe lights. Once again, all these trucks don't have wheel lifts on them, just the winching. Interiors on all these trucks aren't really done. Steering wheels don't move. But once again, if you're looking for a tow truck, this one's not too bad. This one's got a nice interior on it. This one is the Lodestar. All the exteriors on them are very nicely detailed. The Mac here, I really do like the look of it. Here we got some of the heavy hitters lined up. We've got this Kenworth here, which I think is supposed to be Al Quiring's wrecker in the TV show Highway Through Hell. We've got some nice outriggers on the side here, which is not too common on a truck with just a slider wrecker. Technically, this would be a slider, I think. In the game, none of them do slide. So a slider wrecker is where the boom slides down on the actual frame of the truck, forwards and backwards. We've got outriggers on the front and rear. A little bit more boom reach than the other ones. The under reach length isn't super long, but it doesn't really matter, and I'll show you that later. Nicely detailed. Interior is actually pretty nice on this one. It's all laid out. Steering wheel doesn't move. Steering wheel's a little off, but at least you got some sort of interior to look at. It's got a really nice bull bar on the front, moose bar, cow bar, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're from. Moving on here, we've got a twin steer rotator, Western Star chassis. This thing's got about the most amount of customization out of all of them. You can select the Canadian flag, US flag, or just a basic side. With these, we got a lot more buttons because we've got a boom, the crane arm that rotates, hence why it's called a rotator. We've got strobes everywhere on this thing, plus we've got separate underreach control. Once again, not that much of a underreach length, but when it comes right down to it, you don't really need too much length. We got some nice big outriggers on both sides, front and rear. This tire right here is supposed to be a lift axle, but it's down all the time. Little things like that. If you were to make that lift and lower as well, we would just have a couple too many options on this truck. This truck's nice. We've got some grill lights up front. We've got the four-ways on. Beautifully laid out. I really do like the looks of these trucks. And they do the job that they are designed to do pretty well. One downfall to this is if you do try to start winching off the side, off the boom, the weight of this truck doesn't really add up too well, and it's pretty easy to pull over if you're not careful. But that's a limitation to the game. That's not a fault of the mod itself or the modder. That's just you're trying to do recoveries in a game about farming, so can't really complain there. Coming over here to another Western Star. This is just a single front axle, not the twin steer. Pretty much about the same. The rocker setup's exactly the same as the twin steer over there, just a different chassis cab. Maybe there's an extra toolbox in there, maybe not. In the last truck here, we've got another Western Star. Grill lights again, single front axle, except this time we've got a roll-up box on the side. Once again, outriggers, front and rear. Rotator, so you can rotate the boom around any which way you would want. These are all about the same. They all run about the same function. This one's got a little bit shorter of a wheelbase than the other, so turning radius you'll be able to get into a bit tighter spots with this truck here than the previous two. But other than that, they're all pretty much the same. So I know what you're saying, TowMan, this isn't a tow truck. You said this is a tow truck video, and you'd be right. So the biggest downfall to these trucks is that they will only tow vehicles that were designed to be towed. So Meadow Farm Modding has made this truck as well. He makes a lot of beautiful like construction trucks and stuff like that, like real world utility vehicles. So with that said, underneath where the axle is an actual strap point. So technically what you could do, which I'm going to test later, is take the Phoenix and just lower that boom down and be able to pick up from that axle itself. Most of these trucks can be picked up forwards or rears, but with this style of truck right here, it'd be better to pick it up from the front just because there's a lot less overhang. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this truck folded up and a tow truck brought over, and we shall show you how to pick it up and tow it. So now that we got our trucks in place, we need to grab the crossbar. Now with this crossbar you can hook it up to the truck and just leave it on the back of the truck. That doesn't matter. Both these trucks have something a little bit different. This is technically a Z-boom. Since it is a smaller truck, it's got the wheel lift built on to the boom, where those trucks over there has separate wheel lift controls as boom controls. So that's something just to keep in mind. So the one downfall is with this style is realistically your boom wouldn't look quite like that. You wouldn't have the hydraulic cylinders going through the shift head. But with this, you're going to want to get this as straight as possible. And the downfall is it's not pick-upable, but since you're playing on PC, it doesn't really matter. You can just put super strength on, whatever the case may be. But you want it pretty much straight with the underneath the axle that you're going to be towing. So right off the hop here, I'm going to extend it out as far as I can. I'm going to fire the truck back up. And I want to get it pretty much underneath the truck. What you can do is back up a little bit further. If you really want to, you can see if you can get it like stuck into the dirt a little bit and pull forward. That is the one other downfall with this truck is you don't have the tilt function like you would on one of the other ones. So what you could do is just pick it up a little bit and see if you can like drag it along the truck to get that piece to straighten out. If not, what you can easily do is just hop out and straighten it yourself. So I'm just going to hop up under here, grab that, and try to spin it around a little bit, just to get it straight. So once you get that straight underneath, what you're going to want to do is pick up, just to take some of the weight off the front end of the vehicle you're trying to tow. And you're going to want to pick it up a little bit, and then do your strap option. So I've strapped this here already, so I'm just going to pick it up. I'm going to tilt up a little bit. I'm going to bring it in. As you can see, the truck is moving with us. Tilt it up a little bit more, bring it in, and then raise this whole section up a bit. And then I'm probably going to tilt this down a little bit more, just to get a nice ride height behind us. Big thing to remember about vehicles you're trying to tow is the overhang. So as you can see, this truck is almost touching the ground. So if we hit a bump going too fast, we will potentially run into some problems there. So as you can see, the crossbar here is turned a fair bit, but it is strapped on, and as you saw, the vehicle did move with us. So this will take a bit of practice to get it right. So as it sits right now, turning is going to be a bit of an issue just because of how much that T-bar isn't straight. The straighter you can get that T-bar, the better everything's going to be for you. Which I know is a bit of a shame that it all relies on how straight you can get that T-bar, and that is a lot of chance, pretty much. But as long as you're careful with it, you're going to be alright. Granted, would I fly across the map like this? Probably not. Would this be good for a role play, or if you just want to like get in and tow things around? Yes, 100%. As you can see, we've pulled out onto the road. We're going down the road just fine, picking up speed. The back tires are rolling down the road. Everything's perfectly fine. Would I want to do an abrupt turn like this? Probably not. Would I want to crash into stuff? Probably not. The fact that it's holding up. See, now that we're jackknifing, and it didn't help that car ran into us. So as you can see, we are strapped up. It is, it's definitely holding the truck back here. But if we just go ahead and turn traffic off here, even though we got into that accident and we jackknifed it pretty good, the straps are holding very well. So as you can see, we jackknifed it, we got into an accident, it didn't fall off. That's how you know you got it right. That was the one main reason why I said just pick it up a little bit and strap it. So if you just pick it up enough to get the front tire barely off the ground, or not even off the ground, just the weight taken off the tire, the front tires themselves, and you try to suck it in, as long as the straps are there, it'll hold and it'll move with you. If you've done it wrong, then you'll see that as well. For dropping, we're going to do the exact same thing, just in reverse. So we're going to lower it down here. We're going to extend it out just so we have enough room to fold it back up without pulling ahead, because a good tow truck driver is a lazy tow truck driver. We're going to get it about there. We're going to tilt it down. Don't have any more tilt, so we're just going to lower to about where the wheels are touching the ground. We're going to redo our straps, so our straps are now off. Lower it down as far as we can, and then suck the wheel lift in. And now we're going to raise this up out of the way, and we're going to tilt this thing. Now you can leave that wheel lift attached to the actual, you can leave this crossbar attached. Doesn't matter, it will sit there and it'll flop around, that's fine. You can also leave the tow hooks attached to the winches, that's fine as well. So as you can see here, we got the Phoenix hooked up, kind of, sort of, to this truck as well. When you strap something like this that has a fixed strappable point, if we try to turn, there is no give. So as you can see, there is no flex, there is no bend. That is a locked in place object. So that is why the hitch is so important with these trucks. So let's just unstrap that now. Let's see if we can tow anything without the actual hitch. So right now we've got the cross member just stuck behind the wheels here. Now if there's any play in this cross member, we should be alright. If not, then we're gonna run into some issues. So let's test this out together. Wheels aren't liking it very much. They're getting pretty janky. It's staying there though. Don't want to do too tight of a turn. No, it fell off. So can you tow something with the wheel lift on this without doing the strap to the boom? Yes and no. Will it end well? Probably not. You could definitely try it though. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the tow truck overview of tow trucks in FS19. This has been TowManG's. I really hope you've enjoyed. If you want me to go over a winching tutorial, let me know down below in the comments. If you liked the video, hit that like button. It really helps me out. If you didn't like the video or don't like me, hit that thumbs down button. And if you enjoy what I do here, hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles!